Welcome back to Capitol Review. 2 months ago, all eyes here in the DMV and around the country were closely watching who would win Virginia's 7th Congressional District. And joining us in the studio now is the winner of that highly competitive bellwether race, Representative Abigail Spanberger. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here. And congratulations. You were recently just sworn in for a 3rd term, and you've had such an impressive series of wins. Back in 2018, you flipped a GOP seat, but the most recent election, you dealt with redistricting. So from going from a Central Virginia location to then a Northern Virginia one. Talk to us about the priorities that you heard in this newly redistricted 7th region and bringing that to D.C.
Absolutely. So the 7th district in its old formation was more than 3,000 square miles. New 7th district, more than 3,000 square miles. And we, in redistricting, lost some communities, gained some communities. And I am so excited to now be representing a portion of Prince William County, Stafford County, down 95, then all the way over to the water in King George and all the way over to the mountains, with the boundaries being Madison and Greene County. And in our district, some of my major priorities, I think first and foremost, are making sure that the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, as it continues to be implemented, is really benefiting Virginia. Certainly already we're seeing some of the bridges along the I-95 corridor are already slated for upgrades. I've been out with the Virginia Department of Transportation to look at how they're going to be utilizing some of those infrastructure dollars. And I'll be continuing to make sure that that money is coming back to Virginia's 7th District where there's such a need. I'm going to continue working on priorities and legislation to lower the costs for Virginians, be it prescription drug costs, food at the grocery store, meat at the meat counter, and certainly gas at the gas pump. These continue to be priorities and issues that I'm hearing about from constituents. And then making progress kind of across the board. We have a variety of important bills that we'll be working on this year. The Farm Bill, that's a piece of legislation that comes up every 5 years. That will be this year, and I do serve on the Agriculture Committee, as well as the National Defense Authorization Act, which we'll be working on again this year. And the kind of nuts and bolts of governing, funding the government, will be areas where I'll continue to be very, very active and make sure we're building bridges, coalitions, and getting bills across the finish line. Yeah,
a lot going on. Let's talk about your first week in the House. We have to, right? Because what was supposed to be just a day full of procedural, formal activities turned into days and hours and votes. What's your impression of what the 118th Congress will be like?
Well, so unfortunately, we've seen a bit of chaos so far. Everything from on the floor debates and arguments to near fights in the wee hours of the morning. And so right now, I have concerns about if this is something that's supposed to be as straightforward as the speaker vote. And of course, it's been 100 years since it took more than one round, and more than 150 years since it took so many rounds to arrive at a speaker. I do expect that everyone from the speaker to the majority leader to the minority leader, everybody in between across the spectrum, will really focus on what comes next, which is we need to continue governing. We need to find common ground and build coalitions and pass legislation, debate policy, and really some of the distractions and kind of chaotic, the surreal nature of that speaker vote, I hope, is something that we can put behind us. But I'm going to temper my expectations on that.
So you're also on the Problem Solvers Caucus. That's for right. People who don't know, that's 21 Democrats, 21 Republicans, focus on solving key issues together. What challenges and key policies do you think both parties will be able to tackle during this term?
Well, an exciting thing is we already have many new members of Congress who have just been sworn in the 118th, interested in joining the Problem Solvers Caucus. As you mentioned, we're equal numbers. So hopefully we'll be adding more Democrats and more Republicans, and we work together to find area of common ground. We work together on some of the toughest issues. In the last Congress, we were leading the trail and leading the way on the infrastructure bill, and our initial efforts really kind of jump-started what became the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. We have many priorities, but I think one of the toughest issues, the most difficult issues that we'll really take up will be related to immigration immigration reform and security-related issues across our borders, our ports of entry, and in particular the southern border. There's a significant interest within the caucus because it is such a difficult issue, a caucus such as ours, where we've worked to build trust and understand each other's viewpoints and the needs of each other's districts. Our caucus is one that ideally should be positioned to be a leader of some of these discussions within the House, and I think that that's across the board a priority for so many of us. So hopefully that will be a place, but so many other issues that ideally we'll be able to really kind of put our imprint on and be helpful getting passed in the House.
All right, and a lot more to talk about with Representative Spanberger, including her work with the CIA and also how she plans to protect local families. Stay with us. You're watching Capitol Review.